Man, this one right here hits deep. We're talking about the tragic story of Telvin Osbourne, better known as Telbo Rackens, who was tragically unalived by his white girlfriend. The details are tough, but it's important to recognize what happened. Telvin was found deceased in a home after an alleged argument with his girlfriend. She's accused of taking his life, and now we're left trying to make sense of this loss. But here's where things get complicated, because after his death, some of his old tweets came back to the surface. Those tweets? Straight up disrespectful to black women, talking all kinds of mess about us. Now, I know y'all been seeing the headlines, but this story ain't just about the way he left us. It's about the way the black community's been responding to his past. See, Telvin had some wild, hurtful tweets about black women that resurfaced after his death. And now the question is, how do we respond when someone from our community crosses those lines, especially after something so tragic happens? Now, I want to be clear. I don't have an issue with interracial dating. You can't help who you love, no matter what race or nationality they are. Love is love, period. But here's the problem. When people start dating outside their race just to spite their own, that's where the issue comes in. When your whole vibe is rooted in I don't mess with my own kind, that's a different story. That ain't love, that's self-hate. And we gotta recognize that. We gotta talk about accountability here, fam. Telvin made some public, highly problematic comments that put black women on blast, calling them out of their name and disrespecting them in ways that made a lot of people uncomfortable. But what happens when the person who disrespects the community is taken too soon? Do we forget what they said because of the way they passed? Or do we hold them accountable even if they ain't here to apologize themselves? Look, I ain't one to be quick to judge when tragedy strikes, but I also ain't finna let disrespect slide just cause someone's gone. The black community's response to Telvin's past shows a lot about how we handle pain, anger, and accountability. Some folks are standing firm on not forgetting those tweets, saying if you disrespected us when you were alive, you don't get a pass just because you're gone. Others are saying we should mourn the loss of his life, regardless of his past mistakes. But let's be real, fam. This situation is a perfect example of how the past and the present collide. And the fact that he's gone don't erase what he said. I know some people are mad, upset, and hurt over what he said about black women. And that pain ain't something you can just brush aside. But at the end of the day, we gotta ask ourselves, how do we want to be remembered? How do we want to treat each other? Do we really want to stand by people who spread hate? Or do we want to make sure we leave behind a legacy of love and respect? Let this be a lesson for all of us. Words matter, and we have to hold each other accountable, especially when we're in positions of influence. It's a tough situation, but one thing's for sure, disrespect ain't something you should ever get a pass for, no matter how it ends. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. Do we forgive him because he's gone, or do we stick by the principle of accountability no matter what?